Welcome once again to Tuesday Live with Ayo Lawrence. And I'm really so excited to be here once again. We met about 2 weeks ago. We were meant to meet last week, but unfortunately I couldn't, make it here. But I'm so excited to be here this week to continue our conversation around tough conversations. I believe that quite a number of us here have at one time or the other engaged in tough conversations, either with our spouses, with our children, with our parents, with friends. At some point we've engaged in tough conversations, and in some instances it has turned out really well, and in some other instances not so good. But tonight I will be sharing on some few things that we can do to ensure that when we have to engage tough conversations, it pans out well at the end of the day. And I'd like you to just follow me even as I go on in this thought. It's very important that we engage tough conversations because a few things happen when we do it the way it should be done. It is essential for growth, and at the same time it helps the individuals involved to be able to understand each other the more. And if tough conversations are carried out the way they should, the bond between the people involved is strengthened. So it is important that we know how to have tough conversations such that at the end of the day it is to our favor, such that at the end of the day it is for the growth and the maturity of the people involved. So there are a few things we need to note when we are about having tough conversations. It's great that we choose the right time and the right place. Quite a number of people just want to have conversations, just at the spur of the moment. Oh, I'm not happy with what is happening now, and can we just talk about it? There are times that can work, and there are instances it wouldn't work. And that is why it is very important that the people who are about having the tough conversations seek out to know the right time and the right place to have the conversation so that the result that they desire is achieved at the end of the day. When the right place is chosen, when the right time is chosen, you find out that the people who are about having the conversation are comfortable, in getting into the conversation to be had. And it's also important that when tough conversations are, to be had, ensure that there are no interruptions. So if there's a need to get the children away, if there's a need to put on your phone, to get all the distractions off, your radar, it's important you do that so that there are no forms of interruptions whatsoever. Then also it's important that you gather your thoughts. You can actually even try to scribble 1 or 2 things or 3 things that are essential for the tough conversations to be very successful. So ensure that you have your thoughts gathered, your concerns, your feelings, and even what you desire to achieve at the end of the conversation. When you gather your thoughts together, it helps you not to just pick things, here and there. Your thoughts are together and you can go a step at a time to have the conversation with the person you're trying to, sort out things with. Then another thing that would help you is to anticipate the perspective of the person you're going to have a conversation with. There's this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the habits talks about you starting with the end in mind. And that's what will be great you apply in this instance. ensure that you ensure that you anticipate what the other party might be, thinking, or conclusion the other party might be trying to get to, so that you are prepared for them from their own point of view. Another thing you would love to also include when you're having conversations is use I statements. Ensure that you're talking from your own point of view. Ensure you are letting the person know that that is the way you feel. So it's important that you use, the I statement as much as possible. Oh, I think, or I feel, or I think. You're trying to let the other party know that this is the way you feel and this is the way you're thinking. It's not that you are passing blame on them. You're just letting them know what you feel and what you think at each point in time. Then it's important that you are actively listening. Let there be eye contact. Don't be lost. Because when you're having conversations with people and you're lost, the other party will pick it, that you're not following him or her. So let there be eye contact. Let there be, paying of full attention. Let your partner or the person you're having conversation with know that you're paying attention to what he or she is saying. And if there's a need for you to clarify, repeat what he or she has said, so that the person can know that you're following and you know exactly what, he or she is trying to pass across. And that way, the two of you, or the people who are having the tough conversations, will be on the same page. There is something that a lot of people do, when they're having conversations, tough conversations, assumptions. And we have been told that assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. So ensure that you're not assuming. Ensure that you're not assuming, what your partner is going to say next, what your partner is thinking, what your partner is feeling. Always ask questions. And when you're asking questions, it's always good you ask open-ended questions. That way, the person you're having conversations with can actually explain what he or she is trying to say. So as much as possible, ask, open-ended questions, so that you encourage the other party to share. You encourage the other party to tell you what he or she feels concerning the situation you're trying to thrash. Then this can't be overemphasized. You have to stay calm. You have to stay calm. You have to stay composed as you go through these conversations. You have to be able to manage your emotions. There are times as a counselor, as a coach, as a therapist, I'm having conversations with my clients. And maybe my clients seem not to get what I'm trying to say. And my client is already overreacting. It's a tough conversation at that point in time. I must be able to compose myself. I must be able to manage my emotions and ensure that I'm not going, the way my client or the person I'm having conversations with is going. So it's very important that you stay calm, you stay composed, no matter what the person or the persons, you are having conversations with are doing. Because that's the only way you can be able to get the results that you desire at the end of the day. And when you're having tough conversations, please, 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 can we focus on the issue? Can we focus on what, is being discussed as against, the person? So you're having a conversation around, let me even look at maybe parenting, and you're trying to talk about, oh, this is the way we would like the children or the child to be parented. And now you are not shifting the conversation from what you're trying to achieve to, that is how you never, that will not give you the results that you want in that conversation. Focus on the issue and not the person or the persons involved. Make sure you are focused on what you're trying to thrash. Make sure you are focused on what you're trying to get solution to. And as you go along in your conversation, try to seek common ground. Try to see what, can help the two of you to be able to be in the same space as much as possible. Try to ensure that at the end of the day, the conversation you are having with this person is mutually beneficial, such that it's win-win at the end of the day. Nobody feels at a loss. Nobody feels, I lost, I lost this in this conversation, or I lost in this issue we are trying to sort out. So try as much as possible to seek a common ground. And as you're doing that, there may be instances where you have to compromise. There may be instances where you have to concede. There may be instances where you have to say, you know what, I hear what you're trying to say, and I'm going to go with you on this issue. I see you, I hear you, and I'm going to just allow you have your way in these instances. And there are even times that you agree to disagree. And there are times, you may not actually even agree with the person at the end of the day, but ensure that the relationship is not fractured. Ensure that, you are able to maintain healthy relationship, irrespective of, your decision at the end of the day. Even if it is agreeing to disagree that you both come to, you have to make up your mind to say, you know what, yes, this is what is happening to us concerning this particular situation. I'm not agreeing with you, but we are not going to allow it to disrupt our relationship. We are not going to allow it to bring a scar or a break in our relationship. When you're having tough conversations, or you've concluded even in the conversation, it's still very important for you to check in, to be sure that you're still on the same page. It's still very important for you to find out. I hope you get what I'm trying to pass across. I hope you are able to see what I'm trying to say. I do this a lot when myself and my husband, we are trying to, resolve any challenge. I try as much as possible to still go back to him. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Can you see, what I'm trying to put across to you? Because it is very, very important that the two of you are on the same page. Then, when tough conversations are hard, it's also key that you appreciate each other for the time that you have, set apart to have this conversation. It's important that you show gratitude to each other or one another, depending on the number of people who are having the conversation. Because the person might have, decided not to show up. The person can say, you know what, I'm not going to listen to what you have to say. So whenever you are able to have tough conversations with people or with a person, always show gratitude at the end of the conversation. Always be appreciative. Make it a lifestyle. Gratitude and appreciation should be even a lifestyle. So when you are able to have tough conversations with people, ensure that you are grateful for their presence. Then, in some instances when tough conversations are going on, they can actually be as a result of maybe someone had lost something and you are really upset, and it may be unforgiveness had even set in, or even in some cases resentment. It's important that you seek to forgive. And we know that forgiveness is a gift that we give ourselves. And you must be willing to give that gift to yourself over and over again. We are told that unforgiveness is you taking poison and expecting the other person to die. So it is important for you to practice forgiveness. It is important for you to practice forgiveness. And when you are able to even forgive yourself quickly, you find out that it's easier for you to forgive other people. A lot of people that find it very difficult to forgive themselves find it difficult to forgive the people in their lives. So it is very important that you extend grace to yourself, forgive yourself, and also forgive the person you are having this conversation with. And in the process, seek to understand. It's also one of the habits of highly effective people. It says, seek first to understand and then to be understood. So if you have people who are having conversations, very tough conversations, if you seek to understand the person you're having the conversation with, and the person also seeks to understand you, you find out that at the end of the day, the issue of you don't understand me, I don't understand you, will just fizzle, because you both have chosen to understand, one another. And another thing is empathy. Empathy is very, very important. Try to put yourself in the shoes of the other person. Try to see, where it might be pinching the person you're having conversation with. So it's very important that you engage empathy even as you have conversations with the people in your life, your husband, your children, your parents, your spouse, whoever it is that you're having conversations with, so that at the end of the day, you are able to reach a good conclusion. Then, there are times that when you're having your conversation, you're unable to finish it at one breath. You won't go. You might need to take a break. You might need to say, you know what? It seems we are not having a headway in this conversation. Let's take a break. So you both take a break, or if it's a group of people, take a break. Just get up, walk away, and then reconvene at another time. Because there are times that the conversations are tough, really, really tough, that you can't get them sorted out in that one conversation. So if you happen to have that kind of a conversation on, just take a break. Take a break and then come back to continue with it until you are happy with what you're trying to resolve. And there are instances that the two of you or the group of people may not be able to tackle the conversation they are having. You can involve a third party that you trust. You can involve a professional. You can involve a coach, a counselor, to help you wade in professionally, so that you can get an objective insight from that individual. As much as possible, don't get people that you know are biased. Don't get people that you know will just, tilt to one side. Get someone who is neutral. Get someone who is objective. Get someone who would let you know, where the people involved have not done well, so that at the end of the day, you are able to reach a good conclusion and everybody is pleased with where they are at. So, tough conversations happen from time to time. Tough conversations can't be avoided sometimes. You just have to have it. And I encourage as many people who don't really like having conversations, not to talk of tough conversations, to begin to muster strength in that area, because it's important. Because if you don't have the tough conversation and you are saying, oh, I don't want trouble, let everyone just, be the way they are, trust me, it is called pseudo peace. Because one day, something little will happen and you will just flip. Something little will happen and you will just go overboard. And people will be wondering, what happened? What did we say? What happened here? What is making this person, react in the way he or she is reacting? It's not what happened at that point in time. It's an accumulation of the things that have been happening and the person has chosen not to talk about. So I just want to encourage each and every one of us, from time to time, let's have conversations, regarding those things that we're not clear. Let's have these tough conversations. Let's muster strength to begin to have these tough conversations. And when we begin to do that, we find out that they are not as tough, as we think they are, because you begin to know the strategies you need to deploy in having these very, very tough conversations once in a while. I hope the points I've been able to share with you tonight, you will be able to take them, make do with them, and just, work towards having tough conversations with the people in your life that you need to have the tough conversations with. And at the end of the day, have meet your goal, which is to be able to ensure that the relationship doesn't crack as much as possible, and everybody feels heard, everybody feels seen, and you are all on a good space. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining again. Till I come your way again, same time, same place, next week Tuesday. Do have an amazing rest of the week. God bless. Bye.